All right, we're in the Helicopter Flying Handbook, Chapter 9, page 12. We're in slips. Just got through turns, slips. So, slips occur when the helicopter slides sideways towards the center of the turn. It is caused by an insufficient amount of anti-torque pedal in the direction of the turn, or too much in the direction opposite the turn in relation to the amount of power used. In other words, if you hold improper anti-torque pedal pressure, which keeps the nose from following the turn, the helicopter slips sideways towards the center of the turn. All right, let's look at that. Now, we had that picture. So we're looking at slips. All right, skids. So yeah, we're about to do these ones. So we're going to go over skids. So a skid occurs when the helicopter slides sideways away from the center of the turn. It is caused by too much anti-torque pedal pressure in the direction of the turn, or by too little in the direction opposite the turn in relation to the amount of power used. The helicopter is forced to turn faster with increased pedal pressure instead of by increasing the degree of the bank. It skids sideways away from the center of the turn instead of flying in its normal curved path. In summary, a skid occurs when the rate of turn is too great for the amount of bank being used, and a slip occurs when the rate of turn is too low for the amount of bank being used. Normal climb, page 13. Normal climb. Entry into a climb from a hover has already been described in normal takeoff from a hover subsection. Therefore, this discussion is limited to a climb entry from cruising flight. Technique. To enter a climb in a helicopter while maintaining airspeed, the first actions are increasing the collective and throttle, and adjusting the pedal is necessary to maintain centered ball in the slip skid indicator. Moving the collective up requires a slight aft movement of the cyclic to direct all of the increased power into lift and maintain airspeed. Remember, the helicopter can climb with the nose down and descend with the nose up. Helicopter attitude changes mainly reflect accelerations or decelerations, not climb or descent. Therefore, the climb attitude is approximately the same as level flight in a stable climb, depending on the aircraft's horizontal stabilizer design. If the pilot wishes to climb faster with a decreased airspeed, then the climb can be initiated with aft cyclic. Depending on initial or entry airspeed for the climb can be accomplished without increasing the collective. If a much slower airspeed is accessible, however, as the airspeed decreases, the airflow over the vertical fin decreases, necessitating more anti-torque left pedal application. To level off from a climb, start adjusting the attitude to level flight attitude a few feet prior to reaching the desired altitude. The amount of lead depends on the rate of climb at the time of the level off. The higher the rate of climb, the more the lead. Generally, the lead is 10% of the climb rate. For example, if the climb rate is 500 feet per minute, you should lead by level off by 50 feet. To begin the level off, apply forward cyclic to adjust and maintain a level flight level flight attitude, which can be slightly nose low. Maintain climb power until the airspeed approaches the desired cruising airspeed. Then lower the collective to obtain cruising power and adjust the throttle to obtain the maintained cruising RPM. Throughout the level off, maintain longitudinal trim with the anti-torque pedals. Common errors. Failure to maintain proper power and airspeed. Holding too much or too little anti-torque pedal, and the leveling off, decreasing power before adjusting the nose to cruising attitude. Normal descent, still page 13 and 20. A normal descent is a maneuver in which the helicopter loses altitude at a controlled rate and a controlled attitude. Technique. To establish a normal descent from straight and level flight at cruising speed, lower the collective to obtain proper power, adjust the throttle to maintain RPM, and increase right anti-torque pressure to maintain heading in a counterclockwise rotor system or left pedal pressure to clockwise system. If cruising airspeed is the same as or slightly above descending airspeed, simultaneously apply the necessary cyclic pressure to obtain the approximate descending altitude. If the pilot wants to decelerate, the cyclic must be moved aft. The pilot decides to descend with increased speed. The forward cyclic is all that is required if airspeed remains under the limit. As the helicopter stabilizes at any forward airspeed, the fuselage attitude will streamline due to the airflow over the horizontal stabilizer. As the airspeed changes, the airflow over the vertical stabilizer or fin changes, so the pedals must be adjusted for trim. The pilot should always remember that the total lift and thrust vectoring is controlled by the cyclic. If a certain airspeed is desired, it will require a certain amount of cyclic and collective movement for level flight. If the cyclic is moved, the thrust versus lift ration is changed, or ratio. Aft cyclic directs more power to lift, and altitude increases. Forward cyclic directs more power to thrust, and airspeed increases. If the collective is not changed, there is no change, and there is a change only in cyclic. The total thrust to lift ratio does not change. Aft cyclic results in a climb, and forward cyclic results in a descent with the corresponding airspeed changes. To level off from the descent, lead the desired altitude by approximately 10% of the rate of descent. For example, 500 feet per minute rate of descent would require a 50-foot lead. At this point, increase the collective to obtain cruising power. Adjust the throttle to maintain RPM and increase left anti-torque pedal pressure to maintain heading. Right pedal pressure in clockwise rotor system. Adjust the cyclic to obtain cruising airspeed and a level flight attitude as the desired altitude is reached. Common errors for the normal descent. Failure to maintain constant angle of descent during training. Failure to level off the aircraft sufficiently, which results in recovery below the desired altitude. Failure to adjust anti-torque pedal pressure for changes in power. We'll hold off there. That was just page 13 of 20. Just finished off with normal climb and normal descent. Going on to page 14 to 20, ground reference maneuvers. See ya.